with Jeff Snyder.
What's the deal with 50-year-old action stars? Movie theaters are starting to look like AARP meetings these days. From The Expendables to an endless stream of Liam Neeson movies to Sean Penn's The Gunman, which opens this weekend, it's clear Hollywood is keen on this subgenre of action movies. But are audiences becoming fatigued? Recent months have also seen Colin Firth flex muscles we never knew he had in Kingsman: The Secret Service. While Denzel Washington proved revenge isn't just a young man's game in The Equalizer, let's not forget Kevin Costner's 3 Days to Kill, or every Bruce Willis movie of the past 10 years, while Mel Gibson and John Travolta have their own revenge movies on the horizon in Bloodfather and I Am Wrath. Now, I happen to love Run All Night, but the American public largely ran away this weekend, likely anticipating the same old shtick. They aren't necessarily wrong. Liam Neeson once again calls upon his particular set of skills to play another alcoholic badass with questionable parenting skills. But with an $11 million opening weekend haul for Run All Night, it might be time for Hollywood to start looking for the next Neeson. And let me tell you, the answer is certainly not Sean Penn, who both co-wrote and stars in the disappointingly generic action thriller The Gunman, a movie filled with great actors like Javier Bardem, Idris Elba, and Ray Winstone, all of whom are upstaged by French actress Jasmine Trinca. Once known best for Schindler's List, Neeson may have been an unlikely candidate to be America's top action star, but Hollywood groomed him for the job over the last decade. Now 62 years old, it might be time to pass the torch to another 50-year-old youngster. So who can open a movie these days and might be a good fit for the role of the next Neeson? Here are our top 5 choices. Ralph Fiennes. Lord Voldemort as a good guy, it sounds crazy on the surface, but Ralph Fiennes is, the perfect heir apparent to Neeson's action throne. Sure, he's the new M in the James Bond universe, but 007 is always going to be the true star of that franchise. Ralph Fiennes, he broke a sweat as the star of Catherine Bigelow's Strange Days. He also popped up in her Oscar-winning movie The Hurt Locker. It'd be great to see them reunite for a hard-hitting action movie. Ralph Fiennes is a tremendous actor, whether he's acting on the side of good, like in Constant Gardener, or evil, like in Red Dragon. Like Liam Neeson, Ralph Fiennes co-starred in both The Clash of the Titans and Wrath of the Titans, and he's still riding the wave of goodwill he earned with his starring turn in The Grand Budapest Hotel. Let's just hope he can find a better action vehicle than The Avengers, the British spy movie with Uma Thurman, not the Marvel franchise. And come to think of it, Uma Thurman, Kill Bill, why not do another one of those, or a revenge movie a la Jodie Foster in The Brave One? Number 2 is Tom Hanks. What if the nicest guy in America was actually an international badass? Come on, who remembers Road to Perdition? We need more Tom Hanks movies like that, and no, the Da Vinci Code series does not count. There are going to be fewer and fewer marquee parts as Hanks nears 60, so he'd be wise to establish an action franchise while he still can. Steven Spielberg's Bridge of Spies is a step in the right direction, but I'd love to see America's sweetheart go all in and get ripped for the right role. Number 3 is Michael Keaton, who is red hot coming off of Birdman. There's a ton of goodwill for him too as an older action star thanks to his career-defining turn as Batman. I'd love to see him actually reprise his character from Jackie Brown and Out of Sight and turn Ray Nicolette from some wisecracking FBI agent into a bone-snapping, neck-breaking man on a mission. Keaton, of course, has played bad guys in RoboCop, Need for Speed, the indie thriller Penthouse North 2, which I still want to see, but it's time to give villainy a rest, embrace the hero inside that America already knows and loves. He's going to star in Legendary's Kong Skull Island, but the nature of his role remains unclear. Number 4 is Bryan Cranston. I totally understand why Bryan Cranston was in no rush to repeat himself after Breaking Bad, but we could totally see him go all Heisenberg and take over Neeson's action hero mantle. Cranston doesn't have the same hulking physicality as Liam Neeson, but he's every bit as intimidating, He recently did an action movie of sorts in Godzilla, but the big fellow was really the star of that show, and while he has been rumored to play the villain in Star Trek 3, we were hoping he'd have learned his lesson about playing villains in sequels and reboots after Total Recall. I'd love to see Bryan Cranston play a hero we can root for who relies on his brain as much as his brawn. And finally, number 5, Eddie Murphy. There's actually an entire generation of young people who probably only know Eddie as either the Nutty Professor, Dr. Dolittle, or the voice of the donkey in the Shrek movies. Imagine that. Crazy, right? Eddie Murphy practically invented the buddy action comedy in 48 Hours and Beverly Hills Cop, both of which earned sequels. Paramount has been developing Beverly Hills Cop 4 for as long as I can remember, but it hasn't gotten off the ground, and they did a TV series featuring Eddie in a recurring supporting role that didn't even get picked up. Eddie's next movie is Cook, which comes from the director of Driving Miss Daisy, who turned 75 this summer. What Eddie needs is a young action director to help him get his swagger back, He's still in good shape. He's from Brooklyn. you know he can take a punch. All he needs is a chance. Listen, the truth is that there are plenty of over 50 actors who deserve the chance to step into Neeson's shoes. The question is whether they still have enough juice at the box office. Gary Oldman, Samuel L. Jackson, and Kurt Russell all made great second bananas at this point in their careers, but it's unclear whether any of them could open a movie to $25 million or more on their own. There definitely seems to be an audience for this particular subgenre, so expect Hollywood to continue to rely on its older leading men, since it's getting harder than ever to launch new action stars. We're gonna have to wait and see who the new Neeson is, or if Hollywood starts to drop retirement papers for older action stars. This has been What's the Deal with Jeff Sneider. Follow me on Twitter @TheInSneider, and thanks for reading TheWrap.com.
What's the deal with Jeff Sneider?